Hi fam, welcome to today's video. So on today's video, I'm going to be doing my February monthly reset. This is the first monthly reset that I'm doing in this channel for 2025. January, I did not get the chance to do one, and so as you know, that it is something that I like to do each and every month, and it didn't sit right with me that I did not post any monthly reset for January. Besides posting, I also did not really have a structured way of just doing that monthly reset for January, and I think that's also why maybe my finances in January were a little bit of a mess, if I can say so. Without wasting any time, let us get into it. So first things first, welcome to everyone who is new here, because I see and appreciate each and every one of you that has been joining this family. Oh my God, my glasses. That has been joining this family, and I'm hoping that you are enjoying this content and also you are growing and you are learning, especially as it pertains to your finances. So welcome to the Jen Gang. And also I do want to remind you that if you're enjoying this channel, you enjoy my content, even this video right now, please make sure that you smash that like button, because it does help a lot. It does go a long way in terms of informing YouTube that you enjoy my content, and thus they push it to more people to see. So with that out of the way, let us also get into other things that I want us to look at on today's video. So as I said, today we're doing my monthly reset. So what we are going to do is we're first going to review January. How did it go? And then after reviewing January, we're going to plan for February in terms of what are the goals for February, and also what is my plan when it comes to my finances for February. But before we get into that, someone asked about this mic, to say that, and it was not the first question that I've gotten about this mic, to say where did I get this mic, even though I cannot recall exactly where I got this mic, but this is the name, this is the mic. Just so you can just take a screenshot. Basically, this mic is called the Godox. It's the Godox mic. It has dials at the back here. I'm sure it's making noise right now as I'm doing this. It has dials at the back here. It also has a volume, and then this button here at the front. This is a volume. This one is for when you want to mute the mic. And I'm sure it's not picking my sound properly because I'm facing it that way. Because at the dials that are back here, I did put it that I wanted to only pick the sound that is coming from the front, not from the side or the back. So it does have those options. Like if you're having interviews or you're having engagement with other people, you can just open it to it so that it picks up the sound from all over. That way the person that is behind the mic the mic will be able to pick up that sound. But for me, because I'm just alone and I don't want it to pick up a lot of sound, like, from the sides or outside, I just put it to only pick up the mic in front of me. So it's the Godox mic. You can find it, I think, at Camera Stuff, something like that, but just Google Godox mics and look for a mic that is on a stand like this. So we're gonna first review January and see how did it go financially. So on the Evercent financial journal, the first thing that we're gonna look at, let's start with the goals. Even though I did not put much, I only put goals here for financial. It just goes to show that my month in January, this month of January is just a mess for me. So I wanted to save 10,000 on my merchants fund, and I know that I did not do this, even though I wanted to deposit more money when I get paid from YouTube. If you remember, that is what I indicated on that other video I spoke about my goals, and I did not put 10,000 in the month of January on my emergency fund, and that is because even though I got paid from YouTube, that money just had to go towards paying for the portion of my rent where we are moving. So all of that money, I just put it for that purpose, and thus I did not top up on my emergency fund I did not top up on my emergency fund, and I'm okay with that. What matters is that I did do a deposit, and 6.5 is a lot, and it's fine. It's a lot for January. It's a lot for January. Now, I also wanted to save 1,000 towards a holiday fund, and I did not do this, and this is also something that was a priority for me. I'm not done yet. I haven't concluded my finances as yet as I'm filming this video, because this is the last weekend of this month of January. So I haven't concluded my budget as yet, but if I do see that I do get funds in between before the beginning of February, then I'm definitely going to put put that 1,000 towards the holiday fund, but right now I haven't done that, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do it. Okay, and then I want us to go to the part for the reflection. So in the journal, there's this section, there's these 2 pages right here. So the first one is the monthly check-in, the second one is the monthly reflection. So we're going to start first with the money check-in. So on the money check-in, it asks here, was my budget met, yes or no? If not, what took me off budget? So for me, my budget was not met. I did not track my finances the way that I had hoped, nor had I planned. And that messed up with a lot of my spending. It also messed up with a lot of how I was tracking my finances. I also did more grocery shopping online than physical. And for anyone who is new here or anyone who's been here, you know how I feel about cash stuffing, how for me that system honestly helps me to stick to budget. But more than anything, it also helps me to be able to properly track my expenses, like what am I really spending my money on. And one of the biggest problems for me has always been groceries. Like whenever I do not use cash and I use my card, it becomes very difficult for me to track my groceries. I know that this month I spent a lot, but most of it was directly from my bank account. And that is why I feel like my month for January was just a mess, because how is it that I was spending so much, but I can't tell you how much I was spending, where I was spending. And if I were to sit down and actually calculate, looking at my bank accounts, all of them across, I would realize that I have spent a lot of money on groceries than what I had planned. More money on things, groceries, home items, and things like that. And so that makes me feel like when it comes to my budget was not met, because if I had done proper cash stuffing, I don't think things would have went out of control as they did. And that is because I know how cash budgeting for me allows me to just be in control of my finances. And if I'm being honest, this month I was not in control of my finances at all. Yeah. So the next prompt question is, what did I do well this month? And I wrote here, I do not feel like I did anything well this month. And it might come across as I'm being hard on myself, but when I look at how I managed my finances this month, I don't feel like I did anything well, because if I had managed my finances well, I feel like I would have done all of the things that I wanted to do this month. And that goes with putting the money away for the holiday fund, topping off the money in my emergency fund. I could have done that if I was just on top of my finances and properly tracking my finances. So I don't think that I did anything well this month, honestly. Okay, how do I feel about my finances this month? I wrote here that it was confusing and it was a bit of a mess. There was no organization at all. And that's coming from someone who likes to be organized when it comes to her finances. It's really devastating to know that there was in such a big month, an important month that sets you up for how the year is going to go, it was just such a mess. And I'm not proud of it at all. And I'm hoping that from January, I'm going to learn and make sure that I do not repeat those same mistakes, that I'm on top of my finances for the rest of the year. Because if I continue like this, I can tell you this, the goals that I've set for myself for 2025, I'm not going to be able to hit majority of those goals. I am not going to do it if I do not take control of my finances. On my website, there's a saying that says, if you do not take control of your money will take control of you. And that couldn't be further from the truth on how January went. I felt like my money had more control over me than I had control over my money. And that is not good. And then what part of my finances will I improve next month? I wrote here that I want to implement the cash stuffing as soon as I get paid. So the mistake that I made is that I got paid and then I did not go and withdraw the money. I did not sit down and say, okay, as much as I've written down, this is how much I want to withdraw, go and withdraw it. Okay, once that you've withdrawn it, come back, cash stuff it. I did not do that. And also another thing that I think also got confusing for me is that I withdrew from my FNB account. Now, from the bank account that I have with FNB now, you get free 2 withdrawals per month, meaning that if I go and withdraw money then they at the ATM, that limit for the day, I'm not going to be charged any money from it. So I thought, let me not withdraw from my Capitec account, let me withdraw from my FNB account. That way I don't get charged for that withdrawal. And then the limit there is 3.5. So I withdraw 3.5, but I needed more than that. And then 2 weeks later or a week later, I then went back to withdraw the rest of the money for the corner, whilst knowing very well that I had already been buying groceries or using my card. I already used some of the money to fill up petrol. So already nje kuhlangahlangene nje. So when I'm withdrawing, I'm already withdrawing money that I'm not sure that is this the money that I really need now. I'm just withdrawing. So for me, I really just want to be very, very hands-on when it comes to how I'm implementing my systems, guys. I always say there's something that I used to say even last year. I remember when I was at YFM, they said, are there different ways to budgeting? And I don't believe that there are many different ways to budgeting, but you can all have one same budget. But what matters is the systems that you apply after you have budgeted, in terms of how are you going to make sure that you stick to this budget. And for me, I did not apply my systems this month. I did not go according to the systems that I've always been using, especially in 2024. I did not use those systems in terms of making sure that I am within my budget and that my finances are in order and they are making sense. So that is my money check-in. Now let us get into my monthly reflection. How did the month go for me? So here the prompt says 3 things I'm grateful for this month. First one, to be alive. I'm grateful to be alive because it means that I have more opportunities or another day to spend working towards my goals, to spend fulfilling my dreams. Then the second one is I am grateful for the additional income. Guys, I do not take for granted the level of additional income that I have. When I look at my salary and I look at the additional income, literally it is either same as my income after tax, or it is just below. That for me is really, really amazing, and I do not take that lightly. I do not take that lightly at all. So I'm grateful for my additional income, because with my additional income, I'm able to work towards my financial goals. I'm able to put more fuel behind my financial goals, because if I were to just rely only on my normal job income, it would be hard for me. I wouldn't be faster in terms of working towards my goals. There's certain things that I would want to do, but I would look at the income and that income will not be able to address all of those things. Okay, the third one is my abilities. I'm grateful for my abilities and gift that I was blessed with. Honestly, you guys, I feel like God blessed me so much when it comes to, here, the mind that I was blessed with, the gift that I was given, because I'm able to use those gifts to create additional income. My additional income comes because of my abilities and the gifts that I have been given, and I'm using those to then create additional income. And so I'm grateful for those gifts and abilities, and I do not take that lightly. I do not take that for granted. So then the second prompt says this month's challenges, if any. Okay, so I wrote here that my work has been very challenging because it is the busy period. Finding balance between my job, content creation, business has been very challenging. It has been driving me insane. I've been feeling more anxious. I've been feeling more settled within myself. Sometimes I would black out at work. Like I would be talking to someone and my mind would just black out. Sometimes I would even run and sit in my car and work from there, because it's just like when I'm sitting in my office, I'll feel so overwhelmed. Like it's just been insane. It's been a lot. And I understand because it's the busy period, but it's been very difficult to balance all of these 3 things. I remember I was having a meeting with the guys at Frank Group, and they were asking me what is my plan for the whole year, like in terms of content creation. I was like, I haven't thought that far. And normally I don't think that far when it comes to content creation, but even for a month, I do not have a plan for what is it that I want to do in a month of January. What is it that I want to do in the month of February as it pertains to my business and content creation? I don't have that because I don't have the luxury of just thinking that far. Majority of the time I am consumed about work, and then comes my business here. I can't even stretch myself to responding to many of your guys' emails. Like I see your emails, guys, and I feel so bad that I can't respond. For all of you that have been requesting CV editing services, I feel bad that I can't even respond to that. And any business person will say that is a bad thing, because I'm leaving money on the table. Because if I were to be responding to all of those emails, all of those inquiries, then that that would be me securing the bag. But because I am so exhausted and I do not have the energy nor the time to sit down and respond to my business emails, I feel like it's also affecting my business. And as a result, my business will not grow the way that I want it to grow because of that. So the biggest challenge this month has been just finding a balance in all of these things. If I'm being honest with you, creating content for me is very important. Running my business and growing my business is very important because these things are mine. Ne? These two things are mine. No one can ever take these things away from me. Content creation and business. No one can ever take these things away from me. But my job is also mine. However, I can lose it tomorrow. So for me, it's very important to also have this additional income, because another person will say, but you should be prioritizing your work. Yes, I should be prioritizing my work, but then at the same time, we do know that your work is not guaranteed. Tomorrow you can be fired. Tomorrow something can happen and you lose your job. How are you going to survive? And so for me, whenever I'm thinking of additional income, I'm always thinking of that I can never rely on my job and say, you know what, here I'm secured. So I always want to have things outside of my work that I'm doing that allows me to bring in income. And it makes me feel in control in some aspect over my life, to say that if anything were to happen in my job, I know that I would be able to survive. I would be able to take care of my needs. So for me, I will not neglect my business. I will not just say, just because it's a busy period, I'm just going to forget about my business. But I do know that eventually one of the things are not going to be done properly. And right now, my business is not being run properly the way that I want it to be run. My content creation is not being done properly the way that I want it to be done. Even my job, it's not being done properly the way that it should be done. So all of these things, I'm just not winning on any of them. So it's been a headache. And I'm sorry, this is like a video diary for me right now. I'm just yapping, but maybe this is therapy session for me, and also it's making me realize a lot of things. But these are things that I had been thinking of, and these are things that I am very much so aware of. It's not that I'm very much aware of this shortcoming. Now let's continue. This month I learned I can't do everything. I have to accept help. So as a result, I decided that, you know what, actually one of the ladies that had been helping me just get organized, even last year, she got me back to my business and being serious when it comes to content creation, because I was feeling very defeated and very exhausted and very overwhelmed, and she helped me. And so she wrote me this lovely email that basically she proposed, she sold herself to basically say, you need my services, and this is what I'm good at. And with my services, you will be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I was just like, you know what? Thank you. This is what I need. This is exactly what I need. And so what I've done is I've hired a virtual assistant. So she's going to be helping me just take care of the things that I can't get to. The emails, she's going to be helping me with that. The planning of content, she's going to be helping me with that. The meeting, the scheduling, right now there's something that we are going to, the project that is coming. I'm planning to have a webinar in February, end of February, where we're going to be looking at at how to start investing using the Frank platform. And I want to create that webinar. I want to host that webinar. And so I know places where she's just going to be there to help me. And I know that she's going to excel in these things because she likes planning. She just likes planning and organizing. She is that type of a person. So I'm hoping that relieves so much pressure on me, but more than anything allows my business to grow, because I'm investing on this because I want my business to grow. I don't just want it to be a thing that I do on the side. I want it to be a proper company that allows that is flourishing, but more than anything that gives opportunities out there, you guys. Like, that has always been a dream of mine. Even when I was in high school, when I wanted to be a fashion designer, the purpose was I want to have my own businesses, I want to have my own studios, and I want to create opportunities for people out there that are looking for opportunities. And so with my business growing, then I can create opportunities for other people that are looking to have those opportunities, So the growth of my business is not just for me, but it's going to impact someone's life. And so I'm hoping and praying that everything goes well. So then the last part here says, next month I will focus on So the last part here says next month I will focus on. So I wrote here that I will focus on my financial systems. Those need to be in order. And then secondly, I'm going to focus on settling in my new home. So that is things that I'm going to focus on. And then now let us get into the goals that I have for February 2025. So we're going to first start with, these are my goals here. I've taken time to write all of them, so we're just going to go through them. So the first one says here, what are my financial goals or financial list, not monthly action list or goals. So it's written here, steps you will take this month to get you closer to your goals. The first step is I will deposit, let me see, how much did I put? Because, okay, I said I will deposit 15,000 on my emergency fund. Ne? And then the second one, I will create a shared goal and start depositing 1,000 for the holiday fund. And I'm also gonna get my partner on that. And then personal action list, steps you will take this month to get you closer to your goals. First one is that I need to plan out my content for February. I need to get that in order, you guys, so that I can have direction. Second one, I'm going to post at least 2 times. I want to post at least 2 times on short form content. Now, I've been neglecting my Instagram for a long time, and so I need to Instagram and TikTok. And I'm on TikTok, you guys, I've reached over 50,000 subscribers on TikTok, and I have been neglecting both of those platforms. And those platforms are the ones that I actually get most brand collaborations on, TikTok and Instagram. So I need to get back into that. My camera is heating up. Okay, and then health and wellness goal, I want to prioritize sleeping at 9:15 Monday to Friday. That is very important because then I can wake up early. Track my fitness progress. I've been doing that. I want to continue doing that. Business goals, I want to onboard my virtual assistant so that she knows what to expect in this business. And then secondly, allocate tasks for the month of February. Allocate task to my virtual assistant for the month of February. So that is my goals for February. Now let us get into my budget. What we're going to do is we're going to go over to my study desk. I'm going to take you guys through my budget. We're going to come back and close off this video. Please do not mind my nails. These ones, they're fine, but this one is just giving up on me. I don't understand what is happening, but it's the only one that is chipping, or this one is also chipping. So please don't mind my nails. Just going to keep the right hand. We're going to keep this left hand because it's still in good order. Anyway, let us get into looking at my budget. Firstly, we're going to look at my income. So for my income, I do have work, and then I also have YouTube and business, and then there's other. So for YouTube and business, I'm hoping to get about 15,000. Remember that from my business, I do pay myself a portion based on how much money I made that month. So I do have my percentages that a certain percentage goes towards my tax savings, the other percentage goes towards my business savings, and then the other percentage goes towards the payment that comes to me for that month. So I'm hoping that with YouTube and that income is going to make it about 15,000. And then there's other, which is 5,000. And then there's also my savings. So for my savings, my education fund is going to be 1,100, and then my stokvel is going to be 1,000. Holiday fund is going to be 1,000. Emergency fund, I'm putting in 15,000, but I might decrease this to 14,000 because it's going to be my daughter's birthday this month. So I do need to have money for her to just buy her things and so forth. But what I'm going to try to do is on the money that I'm going to get like this month, on the money that I'm going to be left with in January, I'm going to keep that for her birthday so that I do not have to worry about planning for her birthday from my income. Let's also write here February 2025. So I just wrote February 2025 because if you remember, I did mention last year that my journals for this month, my budgeting journals, are not dated, so that you can buy them anytime in the year and you can still use them because the months are not, the monthly spreadsheets are not dated. Okay, then the next one is going to be my MTN contract. I'm going to put 1,000. I'm going to put 1,500. Let's first calculate the savings. It's 1,100 plus 1,000 plus 1,000 plus 15,000 plus 1,000 makes it 19,100. Here makes it 1,500. Now let's get into the rent part. So for the rent, this is the rent for where we are moving to. This is going to be 7,000. 950. Ne? And then rates, levies, water and electricity in total, I'm putting 2,150. Guys, for the month of January, for my water and electricity, the bill came up to less than 400. I was so happy. So it's going to be I'm budgeting 2,150. I'll still have to pay for water and electricity here, even though I will be gone, because I still need to keep the lights on here. I don't want them to be off, because once the lights are off, you have to pay 500 rands to get them reconnected. So I'll still have to pay for the water and electricity. Insurance, it's 1,340. And then funeral cover, it is 500 rands. Life cover, it is 265. Aftercare, it is 730. And then rain, it is 570. So in the new place, there is an option of Wi-Fi, but when we look at the options that we're given in terms of the monthly cost, it outweighs how much you are currently paying, because we are going to pay for their Wi-Fi is close to 1,000 per month. So we're just like, nope, we are fine with rain, we don't need to change. So we're gonna keep rain because it's fine for us. It's reasonable. 570 is reasonable per month. Now let's look into my variable expenses. So we're gonna start first with water and electricity. This is for the new place. So this one is for the my home, the home net, because I pay for rates, levies, water and electricity. But here I just have to pay for water and electricity only, and it's a combination between me and my partner. But here on this budget, it's only my portion. So for water and electricity, I'm putting 1,500. We're told that per month for water, electricity and gas is about 3,000. So I'm just putting 1,500. And then for petrol, I'm putting in 2,000. For weekly allocation is going to be 5,000. And then school envelope is going to be 200. And then for me, I'm just gonna put let's put 300. This is my variable expenses. So I'm gonna tally everything up and see how much it comes to. I start with my variable expenses. It's 1,500 plus 2,000 plus 5,000. That is 9,000. Then let's do those ones. It's 7,000 plus, that makes it 13,505. Let's go this side, and then here we are going to put the expected income. We're going to put the savings. I want them to be 19,100. So that's where they are. And then the debts, it's 1,500. And then the fixed expenses is 13,505. And then the variable expenses, it is 9,000. And then for my weekly budgets, I've already broken it down. So my weekly allocation is for groceries. So groceries is going to be 1.5 week 1, 1,000 week 2, 1.5 week 3, 1,000 week 4. And then for petrol, I'm splitting it between week 1 and week 3, because any petrol that I fill in when I get paid lasts me for 2 weeks. And then I will also fill up again 2 weeks later, leading up to the next payday. And then for cash stuffing here, I'll then need to put in the money that I want to withdraw. So for week 1, week 2, I'm only going to first withdraw for week 1 and week 2. So here I've also put in the categories to say this is money that I'm going to withdraw on the 15th of February. And then this money I'm going to withdraw on the 25th of February. So that I know that, okay, this has to be taken care of when. So because I get paid in different, like my income, as much as it's here, like all of my income is here, but it doesn't come in at the same time. Petrol, I'm going to put the 2,000 here. I'm going to put for school, we only need 200. And then for me here, I budgeted 300. Okay, and then let me just scratch this out, and then I'm going to say total for here is going to be 2,500, 5,000 that I'm going to need for the first for the first withdrawal. And then here I'm going to start another one, and I'm going to say week 3 plus 4. This happens on the 25th of Feb. I'm gonna have to withdraw 2,500. That will be the last withdrawal for the month. So that is it when it comes to my budget. That is how it's broken down. So we look at my income, we looked at my savings, we looked at my debts, we looked at my fixed expenses, my variable expenses, and then we looked at the summary here. Even though this one you wouldn't know whether it's positive or negative, I'll do this off camera. We also looked at my weekly allowances as well as my cash stuffing. I'm gonna close it off right here. I think that is it. Let us go back to where we started and close off this video. Okay, if you are still watching up until now, thank you so much, UIHM. Thank you so much. You just playing this video up until now really means a lot to me, and I'm hoping that you did smash that like button. So with that being said, I'm gonna close it off right here because this video is very long right now. I will see you on the next one. Please take care and stay safe. Bye.